that might have been a little bit of an awkward intro. What is up, everyone? This is Rob the Vapor, and today we are going to do a Kayfun build wicking tutorial, because I have a lot of people that ask me about wicking and stuff like that, and this is for a guy on ECR EU, which is a subreddit that I hang around on. So shouts out to Cinders who wanted a little video about this. But first I'm going to drink out of my Little Miss Princess mug. I don't own that, I swear. But yeah, so basically if you want an RTA that performs really well, right now we're at 0.8 ohms, 20 watts. No dry hits. This is max VG. So if you want to be able to build and wick and have a good performing RTA, this pretty much applies to any, but in particular more so to Kayfun 4, because I use this daily. So we're going to just do a little video to show you guys how to wick it and how to build it, and some little tips and tricks. For this build we're probably going to go at about 0.5 ohms. We are going to use 26 gauge Cantal, and we are going to do, I think it's like 5 or 6 wraps for that on a 2mm bit. So 2mm. The key is, in my experience, is to have a very small coil when you're putting it in an RTA. And it's just better for performance, because you're not going to be getting that big massive airflow that you will get from an RDA. So you want a tighter coil as well as a tighter wick, and we'll talk all about that. But first, let's go down and check it out, and let's get this tutorial going. Okay guys, I am back. And yeah, here's the Kayfun 4 deck. Basically you're going to want the coil like this. Make sure your leads are pointing off in opposite directions. This is not 100% perfect, but it'll do the job for now. And yeah, that's the main thing. When make sure they're facing opposite directions. And then again, this is very important too, when you're putting your build in, you're going to want to put one under this screw and one under the inside, is what I like to do. So let's get this going again here, like that. Position it over the air hole. It doesn't really matter so much right now. We can sort that out once we've tightened the screws. But if you guys can see, hopefully this is a good enough angle. This is the first time I've used the Kayfun sort of build deck. And then just screw it down. Sort of use your thumb a little bit to hold your wire in place. Okay, so that's one basically screwed down. So that's trapped. And then let's worry about this guy right here. Try and be careful not to stab yourself. And we got her. Trap her. Like so. Now some people like to wrap the Cantal around the screw before they trap it. Some people do it different ways, but this is just the way I do it. And remember, there's no particular wrong or right way, as long as it works. You know, that's sort of the important thing really. So let's just tighten these down again. And again. There we go. Now, okay, so that's our coil trapped, and I'm going to give you guys a little overhead bird's eye. Dun, 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 and that's how it looks. Man, I wish I had a GoPro or something, because isn't that the perfect camera angle? I need a tripod big time. But yeah, like that. Okay, so as you can see, they're both trapped, right? And then, here's where the magic happens. Let's focus this a little bit here. Because my camera, which is a $90 camera, doesn't want autofocus. So, happy days, right? No, not at all. So I have this. This is the tool that I use for snipping now. I've upgraded. This is one of those, I believe it's called a cuticle cutter. And it's actually really good, because it's got like a nice tight angle that you can get right in at the deck. So you want to get in as close to the deck as possible. Let's see now if we can make sure that this works, because I don't want it getting all stupid. There we go. And I was going to say as well, with the Kayfun, if you're doing it this way, or if you're doing it anyway, you have to really be careful of the Cantal, because the sidewalls are really narrow, the little housing for the wick and stuff. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't have too much excess, because what will happen then is it will hit the sidewall and short, and you will have a bad time if it shorts. So okay, it's trimmed. Dun, 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 dun. Shaky hands, man. I shouldn't drink tea before this. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the actual coil is sitting up above the airflow properly. So let's see if we can get an angle on that. Let's bring the camera up just a teeny tad. And just there. And we'll bring it around this way. Stupid autofocus. Oh, Christ. And yeah, it looks okay. We seem to be okay. Hang on there, guys. While I autofocus this bitch. Shaky fucking hands, Jesus. Everything is going wrong. Okay. Yeah, we look alright. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I like to bring it up a little bit off the airflow. So what I do when I want to do that, and again it's quite simple, guys, is just get your screwdriver, stick it in. Actually, we'll use our bit that we were using earlier, and we want to bring this in and focus it again because FML. Okay, so stick your little bit in, stick your bit in, and then just raise it up a little bit, so it's not, again, it's not rocket science. Just give it a little bit of a raise. Be gentle. Slide her out. Let me check her, and yeah, perfect. So now the air can circulate properly, and you know, you're not going to have any shorts or dodginess. The leads are down properly. So happy days. Let me just check this again. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now what we're going to do is check the ohms. Okay, guys. So let's heat this guy, and from there then we will adjust the coil. As you can see, terrible, janky. But again, the beauty of vaping, we do a little bit of pinchy like that. Let's heat her again. Perfect. I have the magic touch, ladies and gentlemen. I have to touch it once and boom. Right, okay. Now onto the wicking. And for the wicking, I'm going to make a cut here and show you guys exactly how I do it, because that's where most people have problems. I want to get the right camera angle. Okay, so for my wicking material, I'm using Japanese cotton. I didn't say that earlier. So I like to go with about this much. Like, hang on there now, let's cut this and I can show you guys a bit better. So make a little incision, C-section. Now, so about this much. This might look a bit thick, but it's not. And you're going to want to just roll it up a little bit here. Bam. So that you have a nice little uniform piece. Then we're going to try and do something revolutionary here. We're going to do one-handed wicking, hopefully, because I feel like this is the best way for me to get a good camera angle for you guys. So we're going to thread it through. Let's see if we can do this one-handed. It's probably going to be pretty tough. Yeah, you're going to thread it through like so. I might even have a little bit too much cotton here. No, it's okay. Okay, so that's about how much cotton I use. You can see that it's got a little tiny bit of resistance when you drag it through. I feel like that's about the right amount. And let's see then, what we're going to want to do is do a little rough how much do I need to snip off test. So with that, when you want to find out how much you want to snip off, I find I usually just use my thumbs like this and sort of just like press it into the juice channels just to get a rough idea. And you can see that there's quite a bit of excess there. So what we're going to do is take our trusty scissors, our Swiss Army knife scissors, and snip it maybe like that. Okay. And yeah, that sits up there alright. And then here with this as well, let's do, I need to spread this out a little bit. I call this fanning, so I need to fan this out a little bit. Not fanny, fanning. Not fanny, fanning. Okay. And blam. Okay. So that's about where you want it. Let's see how that is. Might even be a little bit too much cotton here. But you know what? I actually think that's alright. So we've got excess on this side. We need to clean that up a little bit, clean this up a little bit. So let's just make sure that that's going to work, like so. Bam, back into the juice channel, and again just put it down a little bit. Okay, so there's two ways of doing this. For this one, what we'll do is the way Grim Green does it, which is he pulls up his wick like so. For the Kayfun 4, he pulls it up like this, and then you want to get your little wall, your little housing, and sort of cuff it with the thingy here. Now I didn't do it perfectly that time. Screw it down, and then let's see what I use for this. We've got this little jig here, so you want to sort of spread this out down there, and I'll show you guys if I can get the camera right on it. You want to spread it out so that you can see a little bit of the deck down there, but not your juice hole. Personally, that's the way I like to do it, so you can see your deck but not your juice hole. Now let's see if we can get a good angle on that. You can see a little bit of deck there, you see what I mean? And let's do it again on this side. So yeah, there we go. Looks good to me. Okay, so this is 0.5 ohm. So the beauty of the Kayfun, in my opinion, is just its flavour. I think its flavour is way superior to pretty much anything else. So it is worth using. So that to me is how I get a good performance out of my Kayfun. Now let's just wet this biatch like so. You want to paint it with a good bit of juice. And the thing that you want to keep in mind also, guys, when when using RTA, sometimes or anything, RTA or DA, it takes a little bit of a while to actually for the juice to sort of or for the cotton to sort of break in, is what I like to call it. Just like a little breaking in period. So let's put this on, get a little test fire going. Hang on there now. Perfect. 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 Okay, let's bring her back up top and see how this biatch performs. Sorry about the bad camera angles, but best I can do. And we are back, and it is performing quite nicely. I've had a few vapes. So if you want to wick a Kayfun, watch that video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a 0.5 ohm build, and it's chucking. It's pretty good. And that's around like where I like my Kayfun, because I think it has better flavour than the sub tanks, but you get that nice little kick of flavour. Better flavour, sorry, and that kick of vapour, sorry. It's a little bit like, it's in between sort of that mad ass vapour, so it's still pretty good though. For a restricted draw, it's pretty good. I've been Rob the Vapor, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and no more dry hits on the Kayfun, because it's just too damn tasty. Peace out, guys. Haters catch the vapors. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more. Comment if this has helped you in any way. Peace.